Hi, my name is Grace Maroney, and welcome to Conversations with the ERC5. Today, my guest is Ashley Maroney from Balanced Recovery. Ashley, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, Grace. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here with us. Share with us a little bit about Balanced Recovery.
Yes. Okay. Where to begin? So Balanced Recovery, we've been open for about a year now, and what we are is we are a holistic, comprehensive, individualized treatment program for folks who are dealing with, all sorts of issues in their life, whether it's addiction and other substance use related issues, mental health, family issues, all that stuff. We're really kind of that one-stop shop for people who are going through things in their life and they need some support.
Okay. Which nowadays, life is so hectic.
Yeah.
And there's so many things happening. Just learning how to be able to take a breath and move forward is so important. And it's so easy for me to sit here and say that, but ask me if I apply that to my everyday.
But that's really the beauty of kind of what we're doing, right? So to carve out that time for yourself every day on your own can be really hard.
Yes.
But if you're part of a community who's encouraging you, supporting you, doing it together, that's really, I think, why programs like us are so helpful, because it's sort of forcing you to some degree to take that time, take that space for yourself. And most of us need that, because left to our own devices, we won't take it.
It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen.
So
I know it should, but it doesn't.
It should. But yeah, so what I think sets us apart is there's the community piece, right? So you're coming to our program, you're not doing this alone anymore. You have like a whole team of people, and you also have other people that you're meeting going through the same situations, right? We're also incredibly individualized. And a lot of places will tell you they're individualized. What I mean is, when you come to us, you are not like, whether you're Grace or Ashley, you're all doing the same thing, right? We're totally different. Whatever Grace needs, whatever Ashley needs, anyone, they're getting completely different treatment that's tailored to them. A lot of places say it's individual, but we're really doing that. It's harder, right? To treat everyone completely differently. It's easier to put everyone in the same box and say, you guys kind of all get the same thing. But we know it's what people want and it's what they need. Yeah. So I think that's one of the main things that sets us apart at Balanced.
Right. Well, because everyone's journey to a particular situation is different.
Yep.
So I would think you need to address how you got there, and then how do you overcome whatever the obstacles might be. That
100%. And everyone's resources are different. I might have support from certain people in my life, and maybe other people need to build those new supports. And so where people, the people are differently resourced based on, where they're coming from and where they're at. So that's another piece of it too that we don't think about.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
that's true. So I have a question for you. So now let's talk about like addiction.
Let's talk about
you
it.
hear about, you check into here or you check into there. But recently, a friend of mine, their child, well, I call my 40-year-olds my children. So,
still your children.
Right. So her child, who is, in their 40s, went away, had a fabulous time. And when he came back, he had too good a time, maybe, and he fell back into a problem that he had, drinking. So he said, I have to check myself in, which I thought was phenomenal, that he knew I fell off and now I've got to get back to that good place. So I'm going to get the help that I need. And it's like, so how do you do that? Do you have to go back into recovery? And then I started thinking about balanced recovery, because you can be an outpatient and you can be doing this. So
Absolutely.
what's the difference? And like, where is it that, how do you
We fit in.
determine where someone belongs? Does it have to be a
I will
check-in?
not waste your time or your viewers' time with talking about the ASAM criteria, but just know that it is structured in terms of grading people essentially based on their risk factors, and they fall into different levels of care, right? So there's a whole system involved that as licensed providers we have to follow, particularly as it relates to managed care, right? Most people's insurances are paying for them. But I'll break it down because I don't want to waste all your time learning that, and it's a lot. But in short, what I like to think of Balanced Recovery Center is like, we are where the majority of kind of that real change is occurring, right? And I'm a little biased because it's where I fit in, right? It's where I work in our level of care. Places where you go inpatient, and by that I mean places where you're sleeping and you're staying there, right? Those are really good to help people who are dealing with any kind of withdrawal symptoms, right? So you don't necessarily have withdrawal symptoms for every substance, right? Some of them you do. Alcohol is a big one, right? We know that you can experience, nausea, sweating, vomiting, possibly seizure. People can become delirious. It's scary. You don't want to mess with it. So those people often need to go somewhere where they're inpatient so they can be medically monitored. And they're often given medications to help them through that.
Okay.
The other reason that sometimes people need to use your word, go away, is they need to get out of their environment to be able to stop the using, right?
Right.
But once those two things are satisfied, they've stopped the use and they're no longer in that stage of acute withdrawal. Now what's left is all the work, is all the part where you have to figure out,
how do I get back to living?
How do I get back to living? Which is hard for all of us, right?
Right.
It's like, how do I live my life in a way where I'm not going back to that old way of dealing with stuff, right? Of coping. And that is the work. That's the hard work, right? So what we do and what programs like us do is we actually have you in your life so that you are going to work, living with the people you live with, going to the grocery store, making meals, finding new friends, all those daily life activities, you're doing them, but you're also still engaged with us. So instead of taking someone out of their environment, we're the part where now you're back in your environment. But that's in some ways where all the real hard work happens. That's where you're really just going back to living your life.
Yeah. Because now, you said that and it's like, oh, okay. So that does make sense, right? I check myself into a clinic and I'm in a sheltered environment. And so all those things in life that can happen, that can upset me and maybe lead me back down to the path that led me to checking in. Yep. How do I deal with those? Yep. And that's where balanced recovery comes in to help us find the right balance.
Yep, absolutely. And not everyone needs to go away, right? We use that term away, inpatient, rehab. There's a million words, but not everyone needs it. It may be something where someone just needs a little, kind of community, some education, a little bit of counseling to kind of get themselves on track. Not everyone needs to kind of do that higher level of care. And so we're great for that too. So we're great for the people stepping down who are ready for that longer term real treatment. And we're great for the people who really don't need to leave their home environment. They just need a little bit more support. And that's where we come in.
Okay. So to backtrack just a little, you said how your plans are individualized. So how do you do that? Like, what does the process look like? Like, I come in and, hey, Ashley, I need some help. What wow, life is closing in around me.
Yep.
Walk me through, like, how do we decide what my plan is going to look like?
Yep. So it would be primarily done in that first assessment piece, right? So I'm going to ask you everything about you to get to know you. And then I'm going to sort of give you my recommendations on these are the things that I think could be helpful. And then you, as the expert in your own life, are going to tell me, here's what of that I'm interested in. Here's my barriers. It could be a lot of times just scheduling, logistics stuff, and we come up with a plan together. And it's different for each person that walks through the door.
Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. And I'm also thinking, and our time is also coming to a close, I'm seeing, but I have like 101 more questions for you. And then the other thing that also pops into my head is, so you're employed by someone and life is overwhelming you a little bit. So maybe you're calling in sick more often because you can't get out of bed and get to work.
Or the anxiety is getting to you.
Yeah.
And yep.
So you could guide someone through that. Or could this be an employee benefit piece that's added, like connecting with employers out there that may be watching this, where you could come in and offer some of your support services?
And they could continue to work. Yes. In fact, in some ways, our program is going to keep them a functional employee, right? Because now they're getting the support they need. We offer evening, we offer virtual options, we offer all that phone support. So we can sort of fit in anywhere. And we can also help people, especially when it comes to the state of Massachusetts. You know, people can take a little bit of time off and have that be paid so they don't have to lose their income while they take maybe a few weeks to focus on treatment. The state of Massachusetts, in a lot of cases, will pay for that through the PFMLA program.
I never even thought of that.
Yeah. So we do support a lot of people in that process as well.
Wow. So lots of great things to talk about here. And we got to continue it with having you come back for another visit.
I'd love to.
But for the audience that is watching, or someone who feels they need your help, or maybe there's an HR person listening to this who's thinking, I need to talk to her and find out how maybe we can do some educational pieces, whatever the case is. What is the best way for folks to get in touch with you and learn more about balanced recovery?
Yeah. So the best way is probably to go to our website and you can fill out a form just saying, you know, your name, your callback, and we'll get back to you within probably an hour.
Okay.
The other thing is you can go on that same website to get our phone number, and that's pretty much answered, 24/7.
Yes.
By a human being, which is really nice. Not an answering service. And we would help direct you from there. If you're not sure if we're the right fit for you, we'll also just find the correct
right
fit for you. It doesn't have to be with us. So yeah, you pick up that number and we'll take it from there.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for offering these wonderful services, because we could all use a little balance in our lives.
I see what you did there.
So now we know where to go. Ashley, thank you. It's a pleasure having you here with us.
Thank you, Grace.
And thank you for joining us for today's conversations with the ERC5. If you'd like to be the next guest here at Stonegate Studios in Wilbraham, visit our website at erc5.com and you may sign up there.